like peekaboo thing here is right at my height, like 5'2"-ish. So 5 feet, 5'1", 5'2". From being thrown over the bridge. The Chestnut Street Bridge, by the way, that's the FMC tower, the tall one that looks like a razor, kind of. There's AKA extended stay residential living in there. It's like, you know, extended hotel. It's on the top and also the west side. We're standing on the east side. The east side might also have some residences, but it's mostly there's offices on sort of the east side and the bottom half. But residents take up the whole top half. And there's a gym in there that looks out over the river. So I guess, I'm not sure what floor all the residences start, but there's a mix of offices and residences. And then on the west side, you know, mostly residences, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. Then that's the train station over there. The, you know, cement cinder block building or whatever next to that glass structure. That was an addition to the train station in more recent years. It's been there for a while, but 10 years or more. I guess, right, it's been there since 2011. It was new like in 2010, 2011. Story is there's an eagle's nest on top of this building, 2400. I think she still comes back to roost. It was on their website, at least as of last year, and they just left the provisions up there for the eagle to come back and forth whenever needed, I guess. And every once in a while you'll see an eagle flying around, or a falcon. Not too long ago I had videos about a falcon that was flying around. It was the week that, let's see, the Falcons, it was a football week of the Falcons winning or losing, or they lost to the Chiefs. So, and it was the same week that Jimmy Carter would finally pass away. He was 100 years old. He would have been 101 this fall. I thought that was interesting because they're the Atlanta Falcons, and Jimmy Carter's family is known for Georgia. Peanut farmer from Georgia. I think they lived in Plains, Georgia, or Plain. It was like Plain, you know. Even though they have like a Jimmy Carter, they have Cartersville, and they have probably have another town or whatever, but. Have you ever noticed, like, when you go through life, every once in a while there might be like a shade or a feeling that you get, and it's like, oh, that reminds me when I first moved here, the feeling I had when I first got to the city and didn't know anything, or when I was visiting the city and didn't know much about the city, you know, and there was a certain vibe or a certain feeling, and, you know, it's been a long time since I've experienced that vibe, if you will, and it's almost like putting a shade on someone. It's hard to explain. Like, say the world at large, the universe, the CIA or whatever, can like shade stuff for a minute to like bring you back to another time period. How crazy is that? You know what I mean? That like it's almost like a vending machine of vibes or feelings or affect. Like, how are you gonna come across today? It's totally weird. It's like, is that the real human experience? Or it's almost like deja vu, and sometimes you remember stuff. You're like, I swear to God, I've been in this same place before. That it would be a little bit different than that, what I'm describing, you know, a minute ago, but it's in that realm. And what if deja vu can just be like cast on you really quick? And it could be used in a negative way. Like, say people could, you know, put it on you, cast it on you, shade you with it, and you're like, am I in a loop? Because like a loop in the universe, and I have to figure out how to get the kinks out, you know what I mean? In order to keep cruising along, you know, like how do you move forward? Or, but it's beyond most people's comprehension. Speaking of like, you know, experiences where you're like, did I experience that before, or did I do that before, and you can't remember? I was thinking, this is a different thing, but I was thinking this morning that wow, there's lots of wood in a truck up here. Anyway, by Colney Beer or whatever. But anyway, or not, I'm sorry, we'll see what it is when we get up here. But I was thinking, like, why are some people married? What makes some people able to marry? I don't think it's always maturity, because there's lots of people who live all kinds of lives, and there are plenty of single people who are incredibly mature. And in fact, they're so mature they won't put up with feeling oppressed or trapped in a relationship. Like, you could argue that. Because it's really hard to find people to spend your life with without feeling trapped, like you want to escape and all that, or oppressed, particularly women, because men are used to being in charge a certain way. So you'd have to have a really caring, sensitive guy